Well, as we were entering week 3, or some of you have already done some of your work in week 3, chapters 4 talks about the building and fire codes and how they evolve and how they basically become part of a basic fire protection plan that has arisen over the years. One of the things is about the table resistance tables that are in there and the rating for the types of constructions. And also, too, when you go through chapter 4, you're looking at the different classifications: high life hazard, type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 construction, the hour separation is needed in those structures. The biggest thing is you start to look at occupant load. Think about this. One person accumulates 8 pounds of pressure on a floor. One person. It doesn't matter what the size is, but that's generally what you get. So think about this in the fire code section of why we're going through this. The various fires that we've experienced over the years and fire protection systems that should be in place. One of the big things is when you start looking at things, terminology is a big issue. Brannigan brings this out more than anybody else. And one of the things is that you got to look at what's fire resistant, what's non-combustible, but what is fire growth? And he uses the Coconut Grove fire, and he also talks about the interior finishes. One of the things that you got to look at in everything that you're doing in the fire service and the building construction phase is interior finishes are more combustible sometimes than the building itself. Carpeting, just the various applications and the regulations and the type of fire loads that are in the buildings today. Chapter 5 talks about all that. And there's quite a bit of good information. And they talk about the carpet test. They talk about how they establish the fire rating, the radiant panel test, the factory mutual corner test, all these testing procedures to give a rating to a piece of material or a product or an assembly of a construction project to make a fire rating. Research is the key to all this. One of the biggest things that as we go through this, you got to look at what the problem is with sprinkler systems, smoke containment systems, and all the different areas that you run into. Sometimes we have a tendency just to gloss over things. This book, Brannigan's book, is something you want to keep on your shelf for references for a long time. We got to look at polyvinyl chloride, which is now being used in residential sprinkler systems and also in commercial applications. The radiant flux tubing that's out there. All these are key to what you're doing in this chapter 4 and 5. Chapter 6, we start looking at wood frame construction. I don't need to tell you, you need to read this chapter thoroughly because it's changed dramatically over the years. And how it's changed is now everything's lightweight construction and it's held together in a lot of simple forms, such as the gusset plates. And they also have a tendency to collapse under heat conditions. Keep in mind, when you're looking at a house today, if it's brand new, it's lightweight construction. If it's 1950s or older, it's legacy construction. That means the 2x4 in 1950 was true 2x4. Today it's 1.5 by 3.5. So dimensional lumber has changed dramatically over the years. This gives you a little insight into what you're going to see this week and the assignments that are for you. I put the PowerPoints up there for you to review, and there's some objectives as well as far as each PowerPoint goes. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you.